Hello everyone, my name is FlyOver and welcome to the channel and welcome to the new video. And finally the day has come when I'm going to show you FENIX Airbus A320. Finally, I said finally because there is already a long time since I bought it and I didn't manage to make a video, but I was actually waiting for certain things. I will explain that in the process, but for now, we are here at Malacca Airport. Today we are not going to fly in Europe. Today we're gonna fly in Malaysia from Malacca to Langkawi, and we are here at Malacca Airport in the beautiful livery of Air Asia as a real airplane, and we're gonna do a short flight where I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about FENIX Airbus A320. Okay, so without further delay, let's just jump into the cockpit and let's start. You can take this video as a tutorial because it is going to be, and it is very possible that this video will be split into two parts. Depends on how much I will explain and how long it's gonna be. Okay, so now with all that said, let's jump in the cockpit and let's start the airplane. Let's first come to the EFB because EFB is the best and the most important part of the whole airplane, because everything you do, you are starting from here. So you have EFB, and at the beginning you will have a login where you can just press 4 zeros or press the fingertip scan and you will log in and it will come into this screen. So in this screen here we are first starting with FENIX application. We'll just click here and click here to import the flight plan from the sim brief. Of course, all this tutorial is based on the fact that you are using SimBrief, because that's the best way and that's the fastest way and that's the easiest way. So I encourage you always use the SimBrief because it's amazing and it makes your life easier. Okay, so the only thing we need to do is just click here, and now when you click, you get your flight, and you can see there is a time. We already have we have 25 minutes to set up our airplane. So it will give you the time, depends on what you actually set in the sim brief as your time of departure, Zulu time. So it will give you here the time are you delay. If you delay, it's gonna be red and it will say delayed. If you on time and before time, it's gonna be green and it will tell you how many more minutes you have. Okay, so this is your flight. Okay, see, we are actually departing at 7:30 Zulu. Now is 7:05 Zulu, so 25 minutes, right? And yeah, that's it. Let's just scroll to the next page. This is meteorological information that you already get, and this is meter for this airport, and we can see that QNH is 1009, right? We can see that wind is variable, 3 knots, visibility is 6,000 feet. We have rain, we have few clouds at 8,000 feet and it's scattered at 26,000 feet. Temperature is 26, dew point is 25. So this is your departure meter. You can see here arrival meter for your arrival airport and also for your alternate airport. So everything what you need to know is here. Also, you can see your route. You can see how many nautical miles, what is your route, and also you can see it on the map how it looks like. So yeah, it's very convenient. It's really convenient. And then you can just scroll You just press the button and you just scroll, like on the tablet, like you put your finger on the screen and scroll. That's how you do, right? Just like that. Okay. So, let's see. Meta information. So let's go to the overhead and let's start the airplane. Actually, before we do that, let's go to the ground services. So just down here, click to the ground services and you can see I have a GPU, ground power unit. I have chocks still and cones around the airplane, forward stairs and after stairs, and also the door are open. As you can see, we have stairs and doors open and cones around and chocks under the wheels and everything. So we are just set up for the boarding, right? So let's start powering on our airplane, so we can set up IRS to align. So we will on the battery, standard, same like fly-by-wire. There is no difference actually. And then we're gonna bring the external power on. With external power on, we're gonna turn on crew supply. We're gonna turn on, we're gonna arm the emergency lights. We can already put no smoking on auto, and also we can put seat belts on because boarding is about to start. So that's it for now here. And then what we're gonna do is let's turn on our IRS. Up. Second one, number 2, and number 3. Now let's go down and let's wait for a while until everything is settled and load, because the aircraft will go through the different phases of testing and everything. So it will show you different messages. Everything will clear out with time. So you can just ignore that for a while. And let's go back to our flight. Let's see Meter say it's 1009. So let's set up our QNH at 1009. 1009 and also 1009. You need to set up independently co-pilot and pilot and also standby altimeter. So that's it. Now with that setup we can go to our MCDU. So now we are going to choose ETSU first, and then AOC menu, flight init, and then we're gonna load a flight init page. You just say init data request, click, wait for a while, and it will populate the page for you. So now when we have loaded that page, we can go back, and that's it for now. Now we are going to regular init page and also press init request, and it will populate most of the data for your flight plan. There you go. Now I will put my regular call sign, welcome fly, in the flight number. Post index will be 30, and we are flying at 360. So that's it. And then here you can click and ask for your winds. So you will get your climb, cruise and all other winds. So that's it. You can reset these messages in the scratchpad, and that's it. And now we are done with init A page, we will come back to init B, but first we are going to the flight plan, right? Let's go to the flight plan and let's set up our departure and arrival. So we're gonna click to our first airport and click on departure. And we know that we are departing from runway 21 and our departure is going to be SATA 1 Romeo. So SATA 1 Romeo and click insert. There you go. Now we have one discontinuity which we are going to delete and click insert, and that should be okay. Now we can click to our destination and click to arrival, and we know that we are arriving on ILS Zulu. So I'm gonna choose ILS Zulu and we're gonna perform ILS Zulu through Victor Papa Lima 1 Golf arrival. So Victor Papa Lima 1 Golf arrival, that's this one, and via YCAM transition. So press insert and then just go through your flight plan and see if there is any discontinuity. It shouldn't be, but later when we have aligned our IRS, we can check that flight plan on the screen, of course. So now when we are done with that, we are going to secondary flight plan and just click copy active. That's good. Now we are going to the radio navigation and just check that we have tuned our VORs for our flight, and that's fine, that's okay. Now we are going to init page and we are going to the page B. Okay, and now all fun come. Okay, we need to enter zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight center of gravity. So let's go back to the EFB and let's click on the mass and balance. And also when we are here already, we can click on load aircraft, and now you can choose, do you want to do boarding in real time 23 minutes, fast time 8 minutes, or instant. For the sake of this video I'm gonna do instant boarding, and you can see that aircraft is already populated with all passengers. We have our zero fuel, our center of gravity set. We have 138 planned passenger and 138 boarded passenger. This is our cargo. Planned is 395, loaded is 395. Fuel is loaded too. It was planned 5,036 tons of 5 tons and 36 kilograms of the fuel, and that's how much is loaded. And also you can see the list of the passengers together with names and their status, which is amazing, right? But what we need for the init B page is here. So we need zero fuel weight and Mach zero fuel weight, that two numbers. So what we need to enter there is 55.4 and 32.1. So 55.4, 55.4 and 32.1, if I'm not wrong. Let's check. 32.1 exactly. Let's go back and let's enter here. So that's it. Now you have, and now you need to enter your block fuel, and you can see here that your fuel on board is 5.0. So we're gonna enter 5.0. There you go. Finish with the init B. Now we're gonna fill the performance page. How we gonna fill the performance page? Super easy. You don't have to use any other program from outside, you have everything here. We will click on this home button, and then we are going to click on departure performance. Now we are at Malacca Airport. Runway of departure is going to be 21. Runway is dry. You can sync the load sheet. You can click here, and now it's set. We will leave optimal flap configuration, no toga force. We will try to use flex if it's possible. We will not use anti-ice, and we will have PEX off. It's gonna be automatic, and this is our weight data. Now, sync your live weather. You just click, and you will get here in calculator wind, temperature, and QNH, which is 1007. It's not anymore 1007. It's 1001. Wait, let me. 1009. But to be sure, let's just check it one more time. Maybe it's changed already. So it is 1009. Okay, let's refresh matter for any case. Oh no, it's changed. It has changed. It is new matter from 700 Zulu. So it is changed, and it is already 1007. Okay, so let's go back. Actually, we need to change that here too. So it's 1007, 1007, and 1007, right? And also, let's change that in the calculator. So let's go to departure performance. Let's synchronize, and it's going to pull. See, it always pull the new data. And now you just need to click calculate, and here you're gonna get all the data you need. So this is our V speed. This is going to be our flaps 1 with trimming down 0.5. Flex temperature is going to be 68 degrees, and that is it. So let's just fill the data in the performance page. So 128, 135, 135. 128, 135, and 135. Okay, we have flaps 1 down 0.5, 1 down 0.5, right? And we have flex to temperature 68, so 68 flex to temperature, and that's it. It is set up, and now what we need to do is, after we start the engine, we need to set up our trim wheel, but that one only after we start the engine, because now you cannot actually click on the trim. It's inactive until you start the engine, right? Okay, so with that said, we have aligned our IRS, and we can check our flight plan. So I'm gonna switch to the plan, and maybe zoom out a little bit. So let's go and let's see actually how it looks like. So we are taking off. Let's turn on constraints so we can see what altitude we need to be. So at the end we need to be at 7,000. So I am going to set up 7,000 on the initial altitude. That is going to be our initial altitude. And then let's just scroll. It looks good. Here is our top of descent, and this is our arrival. As you can see, we are arriving on Victor Papa Lima VOR, and then we are turning here and doing DME arc and going to ILS, descending from 5,000 to 2,100, but I will show you that in the charts. So it looked good. So that means everything is fine. We can just return back this to arc and put the zoom to the highest because it is going to be useful for your takeoff. Okay. So now, when that is done, actually, what we can do is you can see that front door is already closed. So what we are going to do is we are going back to the ground services and we're gonna close the door, remove the stairs, remove the chocks and cones. GPU will stay here for a while because what we need to do is start our APU. So we're gonna start our fuel pumps and we're gonna start our APU. You press the master switch and then you wait for a 3 seconds, and after 3 seconds you actually click and start. Now we can also start our lights. Beacon will be on, strobe will go to auto, and that's it for now. So now we're waiting. If you look down here, you will see that this screen is automatically switched to the APU and it will show you the progress of starting APU. So you just wait. I'm going to set up flight plan on the first FMC and also performance page on the second FMC, just so I can have it always visible, because you have two independent FMCs now, so you can use them to serve you, right? And we are getting some power in the APU. So let's go up and it say it's available. Now we can start APU bleed so we can get some power. And also what we can do is disconnect external power now, because we are now self-sufficient. We are powering our airplane from the APU. Okay, now let's go back to here and let's disconnect the GPU from the airplane. And now if you go out, you will see that many things are moved, and actually everything else will also get cleared later, and we no need pushback here. It is taxi out, so we will just taxi out and go. We need to go to the runway and backtrack all the way to the end of the runway, turn and then take off from there. So that is our procedure. Okay, let's go back to the cockpit. So now when we have started our APU, we can actually start our engines too, because we are ready for departure. And if we check on our boarding here, we are 5 minutes to departure, 5 minutes prior to departure. Let me just show you, 5 minutes prior to departure. So it is about time to start the engine, right? So how we start the engine? Same like on the fly-by-wire. You just switch ignition to start, and then you start the engine number 2, and then later engine number 1. Let's set up our transponder. Now we're waiting. First engine is slowly starting. It's gonna take some time. And now when it reach 18 point something, it is going to rise EGT, and when EGT rise, now we will have available message here. That means that engine is ready and available, so we can start the second engine, actually the first. And now you can see that we have we can move actually already because we start one engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim 0.5 down as it is stated here, 0.5 down, right? And let's monitor our first engine. Also, what we can do now is arm our auto brake, and also we can arm our speed brake. We can also already set up our flaps for the takeoff configuration, flaps 1. So you can see that flaps is already out, engine is almost available, now it's available. Okay, so we have both engines available. We can switch back mode to normal, right? And that's it. Now we are just taxi and go to our destination, right? So let me just set up the camera. Yeah, we are good like that. We have ground spoiler arms. Let's go to takeoff config, and we have set everything. If we test, all green, so we are good. We have company message. So we are going to ATSU and AOC and received messages, and we have load sheet actually because boarding is complete. So we have load sheet with all data and everything, so we can just accept it here. That's fine, and then we can just bring back our performance page, right? So that's it. Everything is set and we can just taxi to the runway. So let's start with turning off the APU bleed and turning off the APU because we don't need it anymore. We are going to start taxi lights and runway turn off lights. APU will be still available for a while, even if we turn it off. It's like 5 minutes and then it will turn off this light. But for a while, in case you want to change your mind, you can just turn it back on. It's gonna be available yet. So no need to worry why it's not off or something. Let's release our parking brake and let's start moving our airplane. Slowly advance the throttle just a little bit and then taxi to the right. Like I said, here is taxi out airport. There is no pushback. So we are starting our engine immediately on the spot. And before we arrive at the runway, what we are going to do is turn on our runway lights. You can click in the middle and turn them both on, right? And also we're gonna start our takeoff lights, and also we're gonna switch our transponder to T-Air PARA. And now we are on the runway. We're gonna backtrack all the way to the other side, unfortunately. That's how this airport is settled. So we need to backtrack all the way, make a 360 turn, and then we are taking off from that part of the runway, right? We are completely set up. You see actually that there is no difference between FENIX and fly-by-wire regarding the setup and entering data and everything. Just in fly-by-wire you don't have secondary flight plan, and here you have just a little bit more options, but and all calculations are done here on the EFB instead of having external programs on the fly-by-wire. So actually that's it. And I have no idea why airports in Asia have small vehicles driving all over the runway and apron and everywhere, and that's so annoying. That's actually MSFS problem. And now look, that car will come too, but we will just go through that because it's stupid that they driving here on the runway. I believe that person who creating the airport actually should do something about it. But unfortunately he didn't. So yeah, we are slowing down a little bit. We are 14 knots of ground speed, so I'm going to add a little bit of thrust because the runway slope is a little bit up the hill here. You can taxi actually 20 to 25 knots on the runway, but I like to do it slower because later you need to brake, and then you will heat up your brakes, and in case that you need your brakes for rejected takeoff, they will be hot and they will not be efficient as they should be. So that's why I better like slower taxi and using the brake in the taxiing the least is possible, right? That is just a technique that everyone use. They try to use brake the least possible. So we are almost there, and then we're gonna slow down to somehow some 8 knots, 9 knots, and then make a turn. There is not much space here actually for the turn, but it should be enough. You of course don't follow the yellow line, you go earlier to that turn. Just make sure that your back wheels doesn't go to the grass. And then we're gonna make full turn here. And go back to the center line. After we line up with the runway, we're gonna stop, press our brake, advance the throttle to the some 40%, and then to the flex, and we are taking off. Okay, let's make sure to stay on the center line. Apply a little bit of pressure of the joystick down until you reach the 100 knots, then you can release. And now we are V1, rotate, positive rate, gear up, and we are following our flight director. We are following our flight director. Our throttle should go to the climb detent, like this. Lower down our nose just to match the green line of the flight director. That's it. And gain some speed. Now we can pull the flaps, because we are passing the speed for the flaps. And we can actually engage autopilot already, because it's a straight line departure. There is not much to do, so I don't have to fly that on my hands, so I can engage the autopilot and it's going to fly that for me, right? What we can do is actually turn off the arm of the speed brake, right? And now we flying. That's it. Now we're flying. We can now take a little bit zoom out. No need. It's still better to see all of that. We are climbing to the 7,000 feet, which is actually we don't have any restrictions, so we can just bring it all the way up to 36,000 feet now. Up too much. 36,000 feet. So airplane will climb to our designated altitude here without problems. Let's see from outside how it looks like. There is our airport down, and we are in our first turn. And you can see the weather is nice, full of clouds, and it's actually beautiful. Look, we even have a rainbow down there. That's amazing. That's really beautiful. And now we are in the turn for our departure. We should be above 2,500 here. We are already at 10,000 almost. There you go. 10,000. We can just turn off our lights, and we can turn off seatbelt lights too, and go back to the QNH. Go back to standard, all three of them, like that. And we are slowly flying to our destination. Now we have nothing much to do. You can see that our status say airborne, that means we are on time here, we are good. We can already switch that matter to the our arrival, to our destination, so we can prepare ourselves later for arrival. And that's it. It's super easy. It's amazing airplane. I wanna say a few words actually about FENIX. It is fully professional, study level airplane of Airbus A320. It is not Neo, it is just regular Airbus with CFM engines, and it's amazing. It's amazingly done. Beautiful airplane. It's worthy every money you pay for it, because it will simulate your it will give you simulation exactly same like you are in the real aircraft. So yeah, that's it. It's amazing add-on, and it's definitely worth it to buy. So this is all what I have to say about FENIX. I cannot say enough when I say it's really good. I cannot say enough. That's how much I like it. It's really amazing. So we are slowly climbing to our cruise altitude, and there is nothing much to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna end this video here, and the second part will be from cruise to down to our destination. So yeah, see you in the next video when we will continue this flight from the cruise altitude to descent, arrival, approach, and landing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.